Hi guys, Effie here. Today I'm going to show you how to make this card using our round diamond set and our princess cut diamond set. From our princess cut diamond set, I'm just going to use the sentiment. So what I'm going to do first is stamp the sentiment using my MISTI. I'm stamping it in Mama Elephant Stargazer pigment ink. It's this gorgeous rich blue pigment ink. I'm going to line up the sentiment on my card panel, and then I'm going to close the top over the sentiment, and it's going to stick onto the lid so that when I stamp it in ink, it's going to be perfectly aligned on my card panel, which is what you want and which the MISTI is absolutely perfect for. Since I'm using pigment ink to stamp the sentiment, I'm going to be heat embossing also because I want to make sure that the sentiment is completely dried before I do some masking on it later. So here you see me prep the card panel with my anti-static powder tool. The sentiment that I'm using is the one that says, "Some people are just born with sparkle in their veins." I absolutely love the sentiment because it's so versatile. You can use it on a birthday card or just any kind of encouragement card or congratulations card when someone does something really great. This is a perfect sentiment that you could put on a card to send them. So here I am just clear heat embossing the sentiment. I'm using Ranger Superfine Detail Clear Embossing Powder. After I tap off the excess, I'm going to take my heat tool and just melt the embossing powder, which is going to give the sentiment a gorgeous raised look, and it adds a little bit of dimension to your card. As I applied heat to my card panel, it started warping a little bit. So to kind of fix this, what I do is I heat the back side of the card, and it won't completely cure the warping, but it does help a little bit. Next, I'm going to mask off all four sides of my card panel. I'm just taking some regular masking tape, and I'm prepping my tape by putting it on my skin because it'll help with losing some of the tackiness to make sure that when you take your mask off later that it won't rip your paper. So as I'm applying the masking tape to the panel, I'm leaving about 2/8 of an inch on each side. This is going to look really nice later as we stamp the diamonds over the mask. It leaves a nice little border around the card panel. Next, we're going to start stamping our round diamonds. This set comes with a layering guide, and it shows you exactly how to position your stamps to get that perfect faceted look. What you need to do is take a really close look at your stamps, specifically stamp number 1 and stamp number 2. You have to locate the specific facets that are highlighted in the layering guide and position them just right as shown in the guide. If you don't follow these steps, you may end up with a spiky gem, and I have said before, nobody likes spiky gems, but just take a really close look at your stamps and locate the facets in stamp 1 and 2, and just stamp them the way that they are positioned on your guide. Another tip that I can give you is that stamp the first stamp number 1, in your darkest color, and then for stamp number 2, stamp that in a lighter color. If you do this, you're gonna end up with some really gorgeous faceted diamonds. I will come out with a more in-depth video tutorial on how to stamp these diamonds because I don't want anyone to be intimidated by this set, because you won't be disappointed with the end result once you figure out the correct way to stamp this set. So as you saw, I created a mask for the sentiment because I did some stamping over the sentiment, but I don't want to actually stamp on the sentiment. For this card, I'm just using the first 2 layers of the round diamonds. I find that I go for these 2 layers the most, and I really don't use the 3rd layer and the outline stamp when I want the faceted look, because just using these 2 layers gives you a really gorgeous look that you really don't need much else, but You know, you definitely can, but I just don't. Sometimes I'm a little lazy, and uh, it's just pretty as is. This set comes with 4 different size diamonds. I used the 3 biggest ones for this card. And just remember, guys, that when you're taking a look at this layering guide, make sure that you stamp number 1 in the darkest ink and stamp number 2 in a lighter ink. You're going to get the best results for that faceted look. After I finished stamping, I took off all the masking, and now I'm going to get ready to place my rhinestones onto my card panel. I'm using our silver rhinestone gems and our bright yellow gold rhinestone gems, and I'm just placing them around the sentiment in a visual triangle. I guess I had some trouble placing my rhinestones. As you can see me kind of shifting them around, but I finally figured it out, and I thought this was the best placement. So I'm going to use my Ranger Multi-Matte Medium to adhere these down onto my card panel, and I'm also going to use my Silhouette Pick Me Up tool. I think that's what it's called. It has some sticky, tacky stuff coming out of that front end, and it also has this pointy tool that sticks into the actual tool. Next, I created a black mat to go behind my card panel, and this is going to create a really pretty thin black border around my stamped panel. I can't remember which rectangle stitch die I used for my stamped card panel. It was either Lawn Fawn or Mama Elephant, but I'll definitely list it in the description section. It's going to be part of all the supplies that I use. So I can't tell you the size right off the bat right now. So I can't tell you the size of the black mat either, but there's about 1/8 of an inch black border basically around the card panel. After I adhered the card panel onto the black mat with some stamp runner, I'm just going to make my card base. It's a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 side folding card base. Actually, it's a top folding card base. And I'm going to use my Tombow stamp runner to adhere the final panel onto the card base, and that will finish up the card. I hope you enjoyed this video, and here is a close-up of the stamped diamonds, and I really hope that if you have the set that you'll take out your stamps and just kind of play with them and experiment, see what colors go best with each other, and really just have fun with it, and don't be intimidated, and just kind of take them out and just start using them, because you will not be disappointed. Thank you so much for watching, guys. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye!